Welcome to Sat Chats, the Bitcoin podcast where we chat about sats. Sats are the smallest part of a Bitcoin, the same way pennies are the smallest part of a dollar. The reason why we want to chat about sats with everyone on Earth, learning about Bitcoin and adopting a Bitcoin standard is the most important decision you will make in your life. And if you don't start now, if you continue to earn and save in slips of paper, random silly IOUs, you're not going to make it. So whether you are a pre-coiner who has no Bitcoin at all, but lots of questions, or a new Bitcoiner who wants to learn more in an easy, daily, conversational type way, or an absolute OG Bitcoiner in the trenches, orange pilling people for years, you're fatigued, you're low on supplies, send us in there. Let us be your reinforcements. Share it with your friends and family when they have questions you've already answered for them 9 times over the past 9 years. You can head to satchats.com to grab your slot on the show today. I'm your host, Stewart Bitcoin Maxi, who wears prescription sunglasses to protect you and your loved ones from the always-on nuclear reactor industrial strength Bitcoin laser eyes that are blasting out of my face.
Thanks for keeping us all safe out there. Appreciate that. Well said. And I am your co-host, Chris. I'm the founder and CEO of Ithaca Hummus. I'm a Bitcoin smash buyer and proud multi-coiner. Bing, bing, bing. Recent multi-coiner. So we would love it if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sat Chats, like and comment on this video. If there's something that you hear and it resonates with you, or you have more questions about the topic, let us know. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We want to be the welcome center for you into the Bitcoin universe. So without
Amazing.
further ado.
Yeah, so like and subscribe, boost the orange algo on YouTube. Every time you like and subscribe to Sat Chats, a new Bitcoiner gets their laser eyes. We're here today with Aisha, who came to us through our publicist. Aisha, it looks like, is a bit of a creator, a bit of an artist, and we are going to be chatting about why we want to create this Bitcoin world, right? I believe is one of the things that you said. So, Aisha, before we jump in, why don't you let everyone know who you are? Help us get to know who Aisha is, where you are, what you do, what you think about when you think about money and Bitcoin.
Hello guys, I'm Aisha Makara. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, author. I just recently published my book, Joyful Living Guidebook, and with my art and some, joyful advices. And I also send my art to the space. I'm the first artist who sent art to the space. And I'm living in Lisbon, Portugal, originally from Mongolia. I have visited almost 70 countries around the world. I love to travel. I live in States, actually, Florida for like 3 years, New York and Los Angeles. Just been back from States, back to Europe. Life is crazy sometimes, and it's great. And it's great.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it that way. Otherwise, it's not fun.
I definitely feel like Aisha is living more life than I am right now. 70 countries. And did you say you've sent your artwork into outer space?
Yes, with the SpaceX.
Wow. Huh? Can you say?
They selected 50 artworks from around the world, and they selected 2 of my artworks, and they engraved on golden plates, and they sent it to the space. It's been already 2 years since my art is flying somewhere in space.
That's wild.
Wow. So they turned your artwork and almost transferred it to a gold plate, like a gold engraving.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So where can people go if they want to maybe see your art or connect with you online, on social media? Like, where would you want to send people if they wanted to know more about Aisha?
So people can find me on my website. It's Aisha.today, is AISHA.today, where people can see my art. They can see what I do right now, about my book, about to hire me as a speaker as well, like on my investment opportunities that I'm creating right now in a different part of the world. And I don't know, just connect, schedule the call with me and get know me.
Yeah. And I'm sorry.
The social media, because I just overwhelmed. I feel like it's just too much, honestly, like, with all of these, connections. So like, I just use, um, one source, and my Instagram. I like Instagram. I just use for the joyful living, and that's it. You can find me on Instagram, joyful living guide, as well. Right.
Okay.
It's, I'm not like a really, I choose to have more like a privacy and just sharing, what I'm doing than, everything about my life. So like um, from my perspective, it's overwhelming what social media right now doing to us. And, so I'm doing my best just to focus on what I do and why I do it. Spreading my words, my artist voice, that we are creators, we are powerful creators. And, like when I applied for the project, sending my art to space, they, created NFTs, astronaut NFTs. And they were selling NFTs actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That connected to zero. That connected to info.
But, how are Chris and I going to survive if we don't know what you had for breakfast this morning, Aisha? It's really important, right?
Yeah.
You got to share everything. Now, I actually like your focus on privacy. I like it too, right? I mean, my face is a ball cap, sunglasses, and
Yes, that's what
I could be anybody. And that's actually what I like. I would prefer to just be any old body. You know what I mean? So can you say the name of your book one more time?
Joyful Living Guidebook. You can find it on Amazon as well. Or Google it.
Okay. And what does that cover? I mean, it sounds like it's a guide to living your life joyfully, but maybe tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, like, I feel we get to enjoy absolutely everything what life gives to us, because life is happening for us, not to us. And I believe like we're the creators, so we can create our thoughts. We can create, when feelings is coming or emotions is coming, we can regulate it because we have a choice, the way we want to, face it. So be aware of your emotions. Emotions coming and go, and we let them to stay. So we get to decide what emotions we want to have in our life. So I prefer to have a joy. So like, that's my choice. That's why everything in my life is about joy, and I'm creating joy, and I'm the most positive person in the room because, it's a new day, it's a new opportunity, and what happened yesterday, it happened yesterday. I don't need to like think about that too much. I'm still alive. That's what matters. And I'm still getting figuring out what's next and what I want to do next. And, right now we're living in a global world where each of us can live absolutely anywhere in the world and decide what we want to do there. And, with globalization and, the way we explore things, I believe like we have like endless opportunities or limitless opportunities that we can create and can, attract in our lifestyle.
Oh, that's a really beautiful message.
I like.
Where's the space? Like it was one of my dreams. And when opportunity arrived, I just apply and, I've been selected and my art right now in the space. So I believe like more dreams you have, better life you have, because your life is just excitement. It's like a playground. And I feeling like we get to continue to be kids, even we're adults, and we get to take responsibility over our life and everything. And at the same time, just decide your environment, just decide how you want to react and act to the things that's, coming your way, and always smile. Always smile, because that's what matters. You're still alive. You get to deal with all these problems, whatever it is there, and take it with a gratitude and be grateful for all of that. Because if you didn't have them, it wouldn't be you, the way you are. So with all these challenges that we're facing in our everyday life, it's create who we are today.
I love that. Gratitude is the biggest part of the daily program that Chris and I work. It's how we wake up each day and are able to get some perspective, able to get some energy. With your background, Aisha, as a world traveler, a creator and an artist, and someone who focuses on the positive aspects of life, what has been your experience with money, with all the different currencies? You've used the dollar, you've used the euro, other currencies as well. What's your relationship with money, and what has that been like for you?
Well, it's very interesting, because we don't use the money anymore. We don't use so much cash. I mean, at least in Europe, we're just using the card. So you just have a card, and you just know that you have a number in your account, and when you're selling your art or you're selling your services, you're just creating many times. Like, I'm just creating the price that I think is right, and after that, I just see the demand, and I'm just like, okay, that works. It doesn't work. People say it's too expensive, and I'm just feeling like I have just me. I'm the creator, so that's what I decided. And that's kind of like the things I think it's right for me to sell. For example, right now my art is cost like thousands of dollars. The small pieces, like, I sell for $1,000. The bigger one is like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. So people buying, and they don't even discuss with me the price. So, like, I think the value I create, it's there. So, like, it's like, it's not about feeling not confident about that, feeling that I create a value in the world and how much I want to charge for that. And I'm the creator of the value, so I can decide how much I want to make. I decide, like, which currency I want to use and why. So, like, I'm just feeling like everything is just idea anyway. So I get to be, kind of creative to decide how I want to play with that.
That's really interesting. The fact that there's not really cash anymore. I grew up using cash, getting paid in cash, carrying cash around, and at some point it just turned into swiping a credit card.
Yeah.
Yes. And even the funny thing is, when I was living in the United States, it's just so funny.
You're saying that as the creator of this artwork, you can... I'm sorry?
Oh, sir, I just said, like, in the United States, you're receiving a lot of actually cash. It's very interesting the way it works, because in Europe, it's a lot of a different way.
Okay, so you feel like there's still a lot of cash usage in America compared to Europe?
Yes, that's what it's from my own experience.
Okay. That's interesting, because I do not use cash. I have no cash. I don't carry any cash. I don't even touch cash physically. I won't touch it with my hands. And we use a credit card, and we get our little rewards, and then once a month we just pay it down to zero, and that's how we operate. But it sounds like, from your experience, there's just even less. I mean, when I was in Europe, Aisha, I studied in Spain and France in 2005 and 2006, which admittedly was 20 years ago. That I had cash, and I loved the €1 coin and the €2 coin. Those are like my two favorite pieces of money in Europe. But you're saying in today's Europe, you don't see the bills or the coins flying around?
No, I mean, at least in Europe, it's like I lived in Norway many years, and I moved to Portugal after that. And in Norway, we don't use cash, for example. We just use a card, and the card system works very well. And when I'm traveling, I'm always just using card. I don't use cash. I mean, if you go into some Asian countries, sometimes you're using like cash, but like I even don't understand the value of it because like the exchange rate sometimes I'm just okay, whatever. That, but you become so rich there. Like don't have so much actually, but when you go into Asia, you're feeling like your queen there is like, it's so cheap.
Mm.
America's super expensive. So America is United States is one of the expensive countries to live.
Hmm. But just by sheer dint of going to Asia, the same amount of money you had a minute ago turns you from a regular person in Europe to the Queen of Asia.
Exactly. Because like there, for example, to rent even the apartment, like for 1 month in Bali, for example, for out of the season, you can rent something for like $150 or like euro, and have a nice studio. And it was amazing. If you add like extra $30, you can have like a breakfast every morning and with fruits, and bringing it to your door, and it's just like I don't know, you're feeling like a queen, like who's doing it? Like in Europe, it's you get to go somewhere. If you want to order, of course, you do like Uber or something like that. And at the same time, it's like a different service, it's like human to human. It's still there.
Mm. So, Chris,
Hurtful.
remind me one more time. Why did we set up our studio in North Carolina?
I don't know. We should have.
What did we?
Go to Bali.
Yeah.
What are we saying? So, this is so interesting too, Aisha, because my wife said you've got to get someone who is outside of America onto the show, because so far we've only spoken to people in America who are using the U.S. dollar, and we don't have the international perspective on the show yet. But you're bringing that to us, and it's really interesting to hear about how you've been able to travel and live in all of these different places and do well for yourself, create your own value, get paid for it wherever you are. What I want to hear from you about right now is, given this big life experience of yours so far, how much do you know about Bitcoin?
Well, I know about Bitcoin many, many years ago when I was studying in Norway in 2009, 2010. I was a student, and even invested in Bitcoin that time with my friends my friends was an IT, studying engineering in IT. I was studying in engineering quality management or I would say like construction and roads. And so we're just like, youngsters who didn't know so much. I just trust my friends. And that was my first kind of interaction with Bitcoin. In Norway, we had this special company who was providing the services. It was called, I don't remember, like something was Join or something like that. I got to check it out. And my friend said, oh, Bitcoin is going to be very big soon. We get to invest. And that time Bitcoin was like $200 or something like that, already. And, I invest. And after like in 2014, I sold, and I didn't interact for like a few years, I think until like 2019, no, like 2019. And, because, I spent, my money on traveling, I just went backpacking and it was my first burnout of my life. So like, I kind of like went solo traveling for like a month, for like almost a year. And, I was traveling everywhere, and I understood I'm not like a tourist, I'm a traveler. And after that, I discovered Portugal and I moved to Portugal. Yeah, so like, I don't know. And when I moved to United States, I moved to Florida. I was one of the artists, for the Bitcoin conference 2021. We did our galleries, there. And after I did a minting, conference also with my art on it, So like, we interact a lot with the Bitcoin community and being paid by Bitcoins as well, and so like I did a lot of events for the Bitcoin conference, for the Bitcoin community in Florida and Miami. So like it's been very interesting experience. And 2022, in the summer, everything was stolen from me. All my laptops, all my phones, everything I was just completely like, and I understood that, you get to be more smarter to like the way you save it, the way you keeping your coins.
Well, we are sorry to hear that, and I want to get to that, but I've got to march through your life, Aisha. You bought 3 Bitcoin for $600 back in 2009, 2010, just kind of as a little buddy with your friends. It's all good, no big deal. And then you held that Bitcoin until 2014, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, this is like I forgot. I was just like living my life, continue to do things, and my friend is always talking about that, and who was in the IT industry, and when I was burned out, I was still asking my friend, okay, how much Bitcoins? I'm like, how much it costs right now? Just sell it for me, please. I don't want to do that. If it's like make me a little bit of money, cool. If not, I don't care. Just I want to sell it right now. I'm like, and I did, because I didn't want to like. I was collecting all the money I had. It was my like salary that time. I was working as engineer for already like 2 years and a half, about 3 years, and so I was burned out, and I want to just like collect all the money that I have and just move somewhere else, somewhere else in the world. And I didn't know that it's going to be Portugal at that moment of my life. And I did, I discovered in Portugal that all the money that I have in that time, I was like 25. And what happened is like I could live very easily in Portugal for like over 2 years doing nothing, And I said to myself, I'm very young, for sure figuring out something out, like what to do, again. So it's like maybe like taking a risk and being entrepreneurial. It's one of the way of like understanding about the money and the way you want to kind of like play with the money. And, and after like I discovered property management, and I built a business here in Portugal. I had real estate, work in real estate and luxury real estate. So when I moved to America, I already had like a good amount of the money that I can invest, I can play. And I had a different idea of what I want to do. COVID hit, and was issues with transferring, and it was like different issues, like many different like challenges you get to face. And I have to invest in not right things, it was not right people. So it was also like losing. It's life. So like you have moments, I would say like you have like very good moments when you're up, and after like moment when you like everything just going collapse you down, like, and whatever source or universe will telling you like, okay, now doing your best to with nothing, like what you could do when you're healthy. Because I never had this experience in my life, start from nothing again, from zero.
Yeah.
I always like, you're living in Norway, you kind of like rich. You don't think about money at all. And in America, everyone is thinking about money all the time. And I couldn't understand it because I have a little bit different mentality. Or like, I just know that money is there and you just need to understand how much you want of it and why. And it's coming, And I don't know. It's like you get to be clear and intentional about that as well. So like it's abundance of everything in this world. We are powerful creators, and I believe like we can create absolutely anything we want. The thing is we get to be clear why we want to create that. What's, the source is always one until you're here, the source wants you to produce and do something, create a value.
And you're saying that in Norway, they think about money less, and in America, all we do is think about money. That's been your experience?
Yeah, I know we never talk about money. We complain about taxes. Sometimes, we complain about weather. We travel a lot all the time. I don't know. I was living in Norway, I travel all the time. And I have vacation, for example, with my work. I always had like 2 months vacation. about 2 months and plus extra months for like overtime. I never like received the money. I didn't want to receive money for my overtime working. I received free time, and I just want to travel somewhere. So like it's a maybe different system, and maybe we're like spoiled in some ways. Um, and you kind of like bringing this naive attitude to the rest of the world, and you're understanding that other part of the world is not the same. So we are lucky there. And the same time, I don't like this weather. I like Portugal. Even so, in Portugal to work and have a salary here is very low. You get to definitely do the business here, business for startup because it's very strong community of startups, and crypto community here is also strong. So like Web Summit is here, so a lot of conferences. They want to get more conferences here. So we'll see. It's slow, the democracy is very strong here as well. So it's not like moving so fast.
So after you spent some time in Norway and you got your job for a little while, got to be about 2014, you decided, you know what, I'm gonna cash in all my chips everywhere where I got them, and I'm gonna go travel the world for a little while. You had your friend sell your 3 Bitcoin. What was the price of Bitcoin in 2014 when your friend sold yours for you?
I think it was like not so much. It was like 1,000, over 1,000, 1,200. I don't remember, but it was not too much, honestly. But it was like better than I bought it, of course. It was 1,200 or 1,400. I don't know, but it was like a little closer to $1,000.
So you kind of went from 600 bucks to about 3,600 bucks, and then you went off traveling. How would you feel if those 3 Bitcoin you bought for 600 bucks, you still had them today and you had over $300,000 to your name?
Well, sometimes I think about that, and at the same time, it is what it is, right? I cannot like think what it didn't happen. I had amazing time, I live my dream. I always do. And I'm like, it's in the end of the day, it's not about money. It's not about how much money you have. It's about how beautiful life you live. It's about how joyful life you live. It's like, if you want to spend all your life just to make money, I don't know, your life is miserable, like, and who's going to get you money after like you're not here anymore? If you get a heart attack or you get some illness, I don't know, you will have money to pay for that. And at the same time, like, you didn't live your dream, you always was thinking about like making this 100 millions. I don't know. I'm just feeling like I live my life, I know how much I need. And like, I know if I want to go right now and travel for 4 months, I said to myself, okay, I can go and travel right now. But the thing is, I want to do something different right now. So like, I'm way more mindful about my time. I think time is most amazing things, to have free time to do whatever you want, to have that time, and actually like deciding a way to travel, why you want to travel to these countries. What do you want to learn? And, for example, next year I'm going to travel in Asia for like 4 months. And, I just know that every time I'm traveling, I'm just learning something different about myself. So like, I love it. And I just like every time when I grew up in America, I supposed to just go for 6 months, and come back. They just life, like, the COVID was all of this, and I couldn't get out for like over a year and a half, and after life happens, so like you kind of like on a whole yourself, and after you just started to live life, and and still you're living a dream. I was living in Florida. In the COVID time, we just party all the time. We had amazing time. We traveled around Florida. We went all this like different water experiences. A lot. I spent a lot of time on the water, and it was a lot of amazing people. And I don't know if I would be here. I probably had completely different life, and at the same time, I didn't have any money, in that moment of my life. But I just had people who invited me to just enjoy. They said, "Well, forget about all this COVID. Let's go to have fun. Let's go to like, you know, um, party, And you kind of get tired of it as well. That's how probably I got into the Bitcoin. Because I was friends with some artists who's into Bitcoin and who was selling their art in Bitcoin. So like I just keep in touch, and when the doors is open, I mean, we started to create and started to do this whole conferences. 2021 is just like I don't know, just like become kind of like normal, like life, you just doing things. And I started just receive all these coins. Everyone just offering me these coins. And it was like, so share of them was good money.
Were you getting coins as payment for your artwork at that time in Miami?
Yeah. Like, for my work, that's I was doing, the people paying me with Bitcoin, they were paying me with, Ethereum, with Litecoin, with other coins. I received like different coins. Sometimes I cash out them. Many times I didn't. I just have them. And because I didn't need it, I had like enough, you know. So like I just went, okay, I will cash out when I want to travel. So like I can do the same way that I was doing with like many years ago, and it didn't happen because everything was stolen. So like it is what it is. Yeah.
First, I think it's important to point out to all of our listeners that Aisha has a really healthy relationship with money and with Bitcoin. There's a lot of people who have come on the show so far. They bought Bitcoin early in time. They sold it too early, and it's painful for them to talk about it because they know that they could have had so much more if they had just held on to it. But
you get to move on. Continue your life. Enjoy it. Don't think about past. Many people think about past. What if? No, it's not what if. It's already happened. You cannot change anything what happened. You get to work what you have. Now.
Right.
And they didn't do anything wrong by selling either. Bitcoin is money. They stored their time and energy and value in Bitcoin. They came back to it later. It had appreciated in value, and they used it to fund their lifestyle, right? To do something, right? In your case, to travel. If you try to do that with slips of paper, whether it's the euro or the dollar or the yen or the ruble or the rupee, if you came back to those IOUs 5 years later to trade them in for traveling, you would not have gotten to travel as far as if you had put it into Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin did for you what we wanted to do. We wanted to hang out and still be good when we need it later. So once you traveled the world for a little while, you ended up in Florida around the time of COVID, maybe just to visit America, but then cue pandemic, and you're in Florida and you can't necessarily leave, and you start to plant roots in the Miami community and get connected into I think the Bitcoin conference was in Miami in 2021. Tell us a little bit more about that experience before we talk about, what happened.
Well, it was randomly, because I was already in the community, organizing some events that time for like, I was organizing events for like a pop-up art, and I was doing like a lot of pop-up art events, for the art community. And I've been invited to, be part of the Bitcoin, conference because my artist friends, who is like selling the art and the Bitcoins was there, and I just ended up there, and I said yes, because like, why not? Like, you get to still show up your art, you get to show up yourself, and have this all networking, and the opportunities arrive more. Everyone wants to kind of like do more events, do more like things, and they excited about that, and you're also excited because finally something is happening, something is moving, something is like, it's fun, and for me, like, I was organizing one of the events we organized for the board apps during the Bitcoin conference. It was like 2022, I think. But they were like board app, like who created these NFTs. They become like very popular in Miami community, and they were doing a lot of events for their community. A lot of parties, like a festivals, like a 1-day festival, 2 days festivals. And you kind of like part of all of that. And after like 2022 is happened, so you again in the Bitcoin conference, really like having a better overview, and you started organizing with the gallery. It was like they call it like a Bitcoin gallery. art gallery with a lot of different artists who was like not just doing selling the art as for the bitcoins, they're also like doing NFTs and many other things. And like you're learning about how everything is transformed, and the idea is it's still community. The people still will connect, want to help each other, to support each other, hear each other values, work together, do something more creative, more like fun. And that 2022, like I think you kind of get like a little bit lost because with NFTs was like NFT, it was a NFT booming as well, and it was a huge things in Florida. Everyone was talking about NFT buying or exchanging, and it was like a whole thing. So many things is happening, so many names, it was a lot. So you're kind of getting overwhelmed after a while, over all of it, or because I don't know, I got overwhelmed in 2022 and I started to kind of like, demand more money. I mean, in this case, in Bitcoins, because I feel like, I've been, not charging enough. And I started to kind of ask a little bit more. And I end up to work not with the right people in the end, like creating like events, um, not for the people that, probably on a normal way I would do that. And the same time, I just learned from that experience. Sometimes, even in the crypto community, you can find people who's very dark, doing
Yeah.
very dark
What
things.
I feel like in any kind of emerging trend or like boom of any kind, you could think about even like the gold rush, right?
Yeah.
Where there's opportunity, you're going to find people who are there without that don't have the best intentions, right?
Oh yeah.
What's NFTs are an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was kind of like a lot of excitement about it, and now we don't hear about NFTs anymore.
Yeah, Aisha, I think anytime you have people that are making things, you're going to have people who are taking things. And it almost sounds like the people that you were working with in Miami are the ones that ganked your gear. I mean, it almost sounds like you're telling us that the people you knew and were working with took your stuff and maybe disappeared. I mean, do you think who took your stuff, or what happened there?
I don't know. I'm just like, I work with a Russian community, and we call it like Russian mafia, whatever. And everyone told me like, don't do that because it's going to it's end up not for well, because you started to ask the money that you deserve, that they agree about in the beginning, that you started to ask this money, in a Bitcoin, and it's supposed to be Bitcoin. And I started to like, do it at like the last of the event where we're like cleaning up everything. And then I said to them, here's my account. I sent them my account in the beginning of the week when we started to do my wallet. And I asked them to pay me like the money that we agreed, and it didn't happen. And after like, of course, I just came over, and one of them asked him like, who you working for? And I'm like, I'm working for myself. I'm not working for anyone. And and that's it. And like the same day, these things happened, in a few hours after that.
So you worked for some Russians in 2022 in Miami, and then you gave them your wallet address so that they could send some Bitcoin to it. But somehow what happened was
Yes, I was had a van, and they took me out on the like walk. Somebody's like, oh, let's go to work, but let's go to talk the next business, next event, because we're supposed to have a next event next week. And while we're walking by the river, this Brickell area, and I come back, my van was completely destroyed, and everything was taken what I had inside, and I didn't take anything with me. I just like, okay, I'm just going for like a short walk. It's not a big deal, And yeah. And after that, of course, I said to them in the face, why did you do that? And they said like, we didn't do anything. It's like it was not us. But I said, like, why did it happen? Like in the moment when you asked me to walk with you, that 30 minutes, whatever, 40 minutes, and I come back and it was gone. Everything was gone.
A laptop, a smartphone. What was taken?
Everything, my documents, all my driving license, all my life was gone.
Wow.
All of it. All my cards, bank cards, all my phones, all of it.
So you had left like your purse and your smartphones and your laptop at this event.
No, it was in my van.
It was in your van, and the car itself was gone.
My van was there, but the empty, all my van was everything. Everything what I had in my van was.
My goodness. So and you had your Bitcoin and other. You had Bitcoin and you had cryptocurrencies stored on your devices.
Yes, on my phones, I had a wallet. I had a Bitcoin with this thing, and I had the like a MetaMask, and and I think I had like a Trust wallet. So I had like different wallets, but it was on one of the phones that I had, and that was I was sending my number to them to send me the
payment. Yeah. Do you mind sharing how
was on
that?
it was no problem, with Russia it's not a big problem.
Do you mind sharing how much Bitcoin was on the smartphone that was taken?
I don't remember, like, it was not so much. It was like about maybe like a Bitcoin, something like around Bitcoin, because I was paying by portion. It was not like a full Bitcoin, anything like that. It was just, that time Bitcoin cost like 20,000, I think.
Okay.
And like that, or to read out, I don't remember, but that was like a portion of the Bitcoin was there. And every time who wants to pay with a Bitcoin, they send me, to my Bitcoin wallet. And who wants to pay with other coins, to pay me to my MetaMask account, so I can, so I was, I had different coins. The point is, like, I didn't have like a full Bitcoin, that moment, yet, I was just like, because I feel like, in that moment I had Ethereum as well. I had like, I don't remember how many Ethereums I had, but I had more Ethereums than Bitcoins.
Wow. So was the smartphone password protected, where you maybe have to put in your face or your finger or a pin or a design? Was the smartphone itself protected in terms of being able to get inside, or could you just kind of swipe right up and you get in?
Yeah, something like that. I was never, in that moment of my life, I didn't pay so much attention that it can be like this, I didn't think that these things can happen at all in my life, because I feel like in Europe, when you're living in Europe, nothing is happening to you. It's very safe and environment, and we're very naive here in some ways. I mean, maybe somebody's stealing your wallet, or these pickpockets, but in general, we don't I never experienced anything what I experienced in United States on how people treat each other, and I feel like it's no respect, it's no values, it's no a way to communicate. People can say one thing and have to do completely different things, and they will smile on your face and have to put the knife in your back, with no regret, with no the barrier that you created for months, and you were working for months for something, and after someone doesn't like something, they can, the other day was somebody telling how much your life is cost, in America. People can kill you for $1, because of for those. Just because somebody those, they can go and do something that's crazy, and 2021, for example, when I just moved to my apartment, I got, I was living in Miami Beach, and 2021, and then in the March, my apartment was broken in, and absolutely everything was empty. People took all my belongings that was expensive, they didn't touch the cards, But they took all the cash, they took all the jewelry that was expensive, all the expensive glasses and all of like, clothes and everything. And, all my, like, we had my iPhone that I didn't use from Portugal. And I used it just for some things, like few apps I was still using, and I had my other phone that time. And they still like all of it, my laptop as well that moment. So like for me, um, it was a first experience that somebody is walking into my apartment. So I had like, I had a trauma after that.
Mhm.
I was very scared. I put the cameras everywhere. I couldn't sleep in my apartment until the cameras is, there. I was looking there, my room, because I was feeling very scared for like a few months. And after I overcome this trauma, I would say. And when my van was broken in, I was like all the windows was broken. Everything was broken, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
do that. I mean, I'm working a lot for what I'm making my life like. I'm working so much, and I'm okay. I'm very, I'm very. I would say I'm confident, and also I'm like very. If I don't like something, I would say it in your face. I will not go like around and wait for the right moment. I will say everything in the moment. And that was not like that. What I'm learning through my life, that was not right things to do, because
Mm.
people take it personally and they can do something to you. And that was just a girl who says something that's, I don't know. I'm just feeling like it's crazy a little bit, the way people operate sometimes.
Oh, I mean, living in America, Aisha, is like living in the post-apocalyptic desert of Mad Max, Fury Road. Every time I walk outside in the morning, I have to spray silver on my feet and smee, and then like that's how I start my day, just in case like it's gonna go down. Um,
Right after the gratitude practice.
I begin with the gratitude inside the protective space of my own home. Then we say, "Witness me," and we start our day. And I've experienced, I think, 3 break-ins in my life as well here in America, and it's not that great. I mean, to come home and like the window has been busted open, your laptop is gone, all this stuff. It doesn't feel very nice.
Like, it's like, I'm just a single woman who, doing her best, like working her ass to make her life through. And like, I mean, I'm living in heaven. I mean that. I'm very happy. Like, really enjoy my life in Florida. And I really enjoy everything that I was doing. And, I had my like lifestyle that I enjoy, and everything was fine in my life. What I'm doing, I knew how much money I need to make every month. I've had a savings. I put like things already on the savings. I put like 2020 invested and with the right people. And 2020 when the COVID hit, and I lost so much money. That first time in my life actually was a moment when I rent apartment next to the work that I supposed to work, and the meditation center. And I remember I just went to like the studio for the price I wanted, like my dream studio, because I was doing these classes and doing my kind of like life that I imagined for myself in COVID hit. And I remember that I supposed to work in this studio 2 times a week for like 16 hours a day. And that was to cover all my expenses actually. And I was thinking, my life is amazing. Now I'm going to do my art classes, do something on the side, hustle a little bit. I will like get to the point that I want to be in Art Basel as an artist, like Art Basel artist. And I was working towards that, and COVID hit, and I invested, of course, in some other business property management, because I was doing property management in Portugal. And it's just gone. Everything was gone in one day, in 1 month. And first time in my life, I had a minus in my account, like an American account. I opened the account and I was like, oh my gosh, first time in my life, I have this experience. And that was just beginning, Next year was like, my apartment was broken in, and year after that, my van, everything was just taking from my life. I was just like this, with nothing, and staying there in a brickle and like looking around like, wow, that's completely crazy experience. And I don't recommend it to experience anything like that to anyone. The thing is, it's just like one day of my life, and next day you just okay, I got to figuring out. I'm still alive. It's so good. That's what matters. And let's figure it out. And that's what I feel like all Americans do, like who actually have education, who have some level of intelligence, who are understanding, that we are powerful creators, and who doesn't give up so easily. Okay, I cannot do anything right now towards what they did to me. These people that maybe they did, maybe don't. I don't know. What I can do, go to the police. Police just do nothing. They just like, okay, yes, that's right. The police didn't come to my apartment when everything was broken in. They said to me, oh, just send us email.
Really?
And the same what happened like with my bed. I was waiting for over 2 hours, but the police didn't come. And I get to go myself, and show them and everything. And they didn't do anything. They didn't call me back. They didn't find anything. They didn't, and I'm like, okay, it's like I got to go and figure it out myself. Like I cannot like even count on the police. And I said, we have so much work. Your things is nothing compared to what's going on here right now.
Do you even think they felt like you had lost anything, right? Do you think they heard, oh, I lost my Bitcoin and my cryptocurrencies, and like, whatever, lady, we got to go get back to doing something real? Yeah.
Yeah.
The smartphone with no device lock, the wallet with the Bitcoin inside it, did you have to put in any kind of password to open the wallet, or all you got to do is open the phone and then open the app and boom, there's your Bitcoin? It was like that. Now, when you made that wallet, did you store your seed phrase anywhere? Those.
Yes, I store it. Yeah, this password for MetaMask giving you like all these words. I store it in one of my I would say my on my laptop with all these names. I put it in a note, and the thing is, it's not safe. I understood it later as well. Like nothing is safe. You get to kind of like figuring out what's safe, and that's why I'm like, right now, I said to myself, I'm just living. I know that I'm living a dream. I know that I'm living my life the way I want it. I come back to Europe. I'm really happy. I went to, visit my family in Norway. I come back here right now to Portugal. I'm restoring my life again here, and I'm really happy. Like this year, I'm going to have my solo exhibition. I'm doing the thing that I enjoy to do. And I just decided, I like more traditional way of living life, the way I was living before, traveling when I want to travel, like organize my life in the way that I can go travel for several months and I can come back, organizing my life, like doing the thing that I do here. Because from my perspective, all this technology is great. And I feel like what we create is amazing. The thing is like, the value that we're creating or from Bitcoin or from other currency right now, like a cryptocurrency right now, it's a community itself, because all of us more and more working on the laptops, and all my work, I do a lot of them is on the computer. So it's like you're creating long-term value, what we're doing right now. And now it's everything based on people. So the value of Bitcoin we're creating, it's actually based on people, because we're using all this technology, and this is technology or all the software and hardware that we're using. It's connected. That's why we're creating that value, because it get to be stored somewhere, all that information. That's why I feel like it's all beautiful, and at the same time, like, doesn't make sense for me as a human being, to does it serve me, like, in some ways? Yes, it served me in some ways, but does it really make me happy? What makes me happy? It's a community. It's a tribe. It's a people who cares about me, who really want to help me from their heart, who really want me to be successful, and see my potential, the way I can develop it to the fullest. That's what we have in Norway. That's why, like, I've been promoted as an engineer every 6 months because they just see your potential and they just say, okay, go for it, take it, take this opportunity. And I feel in America, there was a capitalism. It's like everyone is kind of like pushing it down, instead to like building this thriving community because it's one of the richest country in the world with all these resources that America have. Like you can create so many amazing things for the world. But what is happening is everyone is kind of like, want to have this, I want to have the next big piece of cake, and everyone is kind of like fighting with each other or competing, instead to collaborate and find a solution to like how we can work together, how we can create better community together, how we can, help each other. I was hoping, I had that like faith that Bitcoin community can be something like that. But it's also like, it's different games inside of the games. And it's like, you're just getting too overwhelmed after a while of all of it. You just want to have, something peaceful and beautiful. And at the same time, you don't want to create a war. For what? For what? Like, you want to be in peace. And what we're creating right now, it's no war, actually, between each other. By comparing, by competing, by like, right now, what's happening with the world, like right now, Europe is going to separate itself. Some countries in Europe are going to say, Portugal is going to say, I'm going to be independent because I don't need you anymore, European Union. I don't need anymore like America, That's what's happening right now. Everyone is separating. They're not connecting. They're not uniting.
Mm-hmm.
We come to the point of our life when everyone is want to play their own card, and they don't want anymore to care about the neighbor land, for example, Spain, or Spain doesn't want to care about Portugal, because of all this competition. And I'm feeling like, is it healthy? Like, is it healthy for us? Because we don't have any more the value of the family. We started to create this family units. And now, with all the distraction, with all these dating apps and all the things that it's not anymore there. We're separating after the COVID. I think it's not anymore like so much strong community. People are isolating themselves more and more and separating themselves more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And the loneliness is getting more stronger. And that's a part of the, like I was a growth, or like part of what we're going through, what we're facing right now. And that's my own experience. I see it, and I see it and experiencing it through my friends who I know for many, many years. In Norway right now, all my friends is like, I want to have my own space. I want to have my own things. I want to have like, everyone is like my things, my life. And I'm doing the same. I'm like, I'm happy in my own bubble. Everything is fine in my bubble. And what it's about tribe, if you look from the perspective of the tribe, everyone in tribe has a role. And everyone is responsible for their role because they're living in a tribe. And I believe our roots, actually, it's coming from the tribe. Was industry, like last 100 years, when we started to develop all of that we're facing right now, we're getting more and more isolated from each other. That's part of the reality that we're living right now. And I don't know, by developing more technology and, creating the value around the Bitcoin will make us more happy and healthy.
Are you saying that one of the oldest technologies is the tribe or the community, and social media, the pandemic, the way things are going these days, the rise of the individual who goes after their own space, their own likes, their own views, whatever, do you feel like instead of a world where here's America, they've got their slips of paper they think are money. Here's Europe, they've got their slips of paper they think are money. Here's Asia, where Aisha is planning to go to be Queen Aisha for 4 months next year. We're going to live it up. We're going to get our fruit delivered in the mornings. Instead of all that separation, instead of all that isolation, a single global form of currency in the form of Bitcoin could help create that global tribe, that global community, that connection, that joy, that happiness.
Yes, I believe in that. The thing is like, I was believing that for me, Bitcoin was like an energy, was a free energy actually that we can all access somehow. And at the same time, the people who's in control of that energy right now, they decide the direction of the energy will go. And I feel we still, or like at least before I had a, or like a trust that we can be that, we can as a tribe, as a global tribe, we can communicate and find the way, or like I call like a flow, the way we want to navigate the flow towards, bigger vision of unity, and abundance. And it's not like that. It's like everyone is playing role, like a game inside of the game. So like it's a lot of, it's endless games is there, and at the same time, everyone wants to, like I ask right now many young people, and what makes you happy? And they say, oh, 100 millions will makes me happy. And like when I'm getting in my Bitcoins and 100 millions, or like in my, and I said, well, why? Why 100 millions is just a number? Why it's your dream, like to get to that 100 millions? And they don't know. They just think it's cool. It's cool to get that number. And, kind of like a play with whatever knowledge that they have. And I feel life is deeper than that. Life, I mean, of course, it's great that we have 100 millions. And at the same time, you have just one life, by chasing that idea of that number, and, going with such a very strong speed, or like very fast speed towards that, you don't notice your life, you will not see the beauty of the birds singing, or the beauty of going in the ocean, like feeling the ocean. I don't know, being like really to feel the moment itself. We're forgetting about that more and more by chasing the number. And that's what I'm experiencing right now. Everyone, like when I'm in my early 20s, I came to Portugal. Everyone was talking about like to make a first million, and different whatever startup and different things. And when I went for my first million, I understood, okay, if you're doing startup, you can get very fast to your million. If you're doing the business, it takes you 3 to 5 years to make your first million. And it's all possible. It's all possible to make it. You got to just focus and concentrate and make it happen. You can make it with a cryptocurrency, and you can make it move faster in 3 minutes with every one day. And that's what the reality is right now. You can create absolutely anything, any number you want. You can achieve it by just having the idea. And that's what technology gives us, this opportunity to scale it up and make that money. With the subscription that we have, with the memberships, like with all of that, like for example, if you like subscribe to Netflix right now have billions and billions, and just on subscription. The subscription idea was a great idea. The thing is right now, many apps is subscription based, and people make millions by just scaling up. And that's what I say. It's easy to make you millions. The thing is you just have a great idea and understanding the need that people need right now, what people need right now. And that's like, I believe like America is the most creative people. They're very creative. The thing is like, we cannot continue to run after these numbers. We get to start to think how we connect each other, how we can work on the connection, how we can work on a community, this global community. What will unite us? What will make us happy and healthy in a long-term run? And how we can, create a new community based on Bitcoin, the new energy, the new earth, the idea of the new earth, happy and healthy and humble,
Yeah. So that is an awesome, joyful message. And we want everyone out there in the Sat Pack to like and subscribe. Smash those buttons for Aisha so that we can help her create this global joyful community, all connected, all backed by Bitcoin. Let's take a minute to recap everything we've heard. I think it's just been so wonderful to get to know Aisha, to hear her Bitcoin story. We talked about her getting a start in Mongolia, working and studying in Norway, heading to Portugal, over to Florida, pandemic, Bitcoin conference, Russians by the ocean side, back to Portugal, creating artwork, sending it to outer space, for goodness sake.
On golden tablets.
Writing a brand new book for everyone. I feel like everyone today who's listening to this or watching it on YouTube is going to walk away with more gratitude, more joy, and a greater perspective on the fact that, yes, Bitcoin is the greatest money of all time. It's also supposed to do something for you. It's supposed to power your life. It's supposed to help you connect with others. And we want to help send Aisha's message out there. So Aisha, if you could let everyone in the Sat Pack know one more time the title of your book, the address of your website and where they can go to get in touch.
Joyful Living Guidebook. You can find it on Amazon and just Google it. Joyful Living Guidebook by Aisha Makara. And my website, Aisha.today. It's AISHA.today. And everyone who wants to come to Portugal, I'm here welcoming you when they get nomad visa and stay in Europe for full time. I'm here to help you as well. And you decided to move to Portugal full time, I can get you absolutely anything, the whole setup that you want as well. That's my business as well. One of the things I do, with property management and real estate and conciergerie and, helping with the businesses, set up the business.
So thank you for that, Aisha. Let's go ahead and exchange value for value. We are Bitcoiners after all, and that's part of what we believe in. So we are going to make you an offer in exchange for the time you spent with us today.
Yeah. So Aisha, we like to compensate our guests for their time, and we obviously appreciate you being here with us today. And the choice that we give each guest is between $50 and nation state paper, $50 US.
Hold that up a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go. You got to get the close-up of Ulysses. I
also accept Bitcoin. If you want to move to Portugal and everything, I'm accepting with a Bitcoin.
There we go. Okay.
So it's 50 USD or $50 worth of sats, which the price of a Bitcoin right now is $101,860, which translates to 982 sats per dollar.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over here to the calculator and say 982 times 50. All right, that's 49,100 sats or $50.
So
choice.
$50, that'll probably buy you $20 worth of stuff later, or 49,100 sats that will probably buy you more than $50 later. Which one do you want?
Of course, Bitcoin.
Of course, Bitcoin.
Great choice.
Nobody wants those swiveldy-bibbledies, whatever that stuff is that he offered you. We really enjoyed the time that we got to spend with you today. You will be forever memorialized, not on gold plates, but on Bitcoin. And we loved the global perspective. We love that we can go back to my wife and say, see, babe, we did it. Are you happy now? What else can we do for you? If you want to help Aisha build that global, joyful Bitcoin community, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Every single time you do it, a Bitcoiner gets their laser eyes. Aisha already has hers, but someone else out there is going to get their laser eyes. So we should maybe close it out there and just let everybody know that Sat Chats, the conversation we've had today with Aisha, is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. Also, our guest views are their own, but I will say Aisha's views on gratitude should probably be yours. So thanks everybody for listening today. Thanks so much, Aisha. We appreciate it.